What's up, guys? It's me, Tony G, and I want to welcome you guys to episode 100 here. We made it to episode 100. It's been a long journey, almost 3 years worth of vlogging for me in the poker world, and wanted to do something special for you guys. So here's what we got on tap for today. We're doing the 4 poker room challenge in Maryland. There are 4 poker rooms in Maryland that have poker. We have 6 casinos, and only 4 of them have poker. And we're going to attempt, but not really, we're going to get it all done today, folks. We're going to get 4 rooms in one day. And for those of you who aren't in Maryland, which are a lot of you, it's a lot of driving. There's going to be maps and icons to show you how far I'm going, but it's going to be 300 plus miles in one day just to go play poker in all 4 rooms. And I'm doing it for everybody that supported me on the vlog. And there are going to be some rules, and I'll get into those here in a little while. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. Okay, guys, we're at our first stop, Hollywood Casino, Perryville. I haven't gone over the rules yet, so here we go. We're going to play all 4 casinos in one day, over 300 plus miles of traveling up and down I-95 in Maryland, from basically the Delaware, Pennsylvania line down to the Virginia, DC line. I'm going to be playing 60 to 90 minutes in each room. I'm buying in for $200 at each room. If I make 50% profit, so if I make $100 profit on my $200, I will then leave, no matter what time it is. If it's 60 or 90 minutes, if it's 45 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go move to the next room because of time constraints, obviously. I'm gonna move to the next room, do the same thing, and at the end of the night, if I go to all 4 rooms and make a profit of $100, I'm going to jump into the 2-5 game at Maryland Live. So the schedule is as follows: Hollywood Casino, Perryville, right here. Horseshoe Casino, Baltimore. Then I'm going to go to MGM Casino in National Harbor down near DC, and then end the night at Maryland Live Hotel and Casino. And we're going to make this an epic episode. It might be 2 episodes, 2 parts. Not quite sure yet. We're going to see how it goes. I'm going to do the best I can with all the hands. I'm probably going to only include the hands that are very crucial. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get inside. Here we go. All right, so we just got on the list. There's no game going yet. We're apparently starting at 10:30. So that means by 11:30, 12 o'clock the latest, or $100 in profit, we're going to the next place. Okay, about 15 minutes into the session, I have the King of Diamonds, the 3 of Hearts. I'm in the big blind. I check my option, and we go 5 ways to the flop. The flop is very favorable. It's the King, 3, Queen with 2 clubs. The small blind checks it over to me, and I throw out a small bet of $6. I want to keep as many people into the hand as possible. And only the small blind and the button call. And we're 3 ways to the turn now. The turn is the 5 of spades. It's definitely not changing too much for me. As I thought, he checks it over to me again, and I throw out a bet of $15 this time. The button thinks and decides to throw in his bet of $15. He calls. The small blind folds, and we're now heads up. The river doesn't change anything. It's the 9 of clubs. I'm betting for value this time with 2 pair. I throw out a bet of $25. And the button basically snaps and shows King 8, and he missed his flush draw. And we take down that pot. Okay, about 15 minutes after that last hand, I'm on the big blind again. I have the ace of hearts, the jack of hearts. It limps to me, and with this semi-premium hand here, we're just not going to limp. We're making it $12 to go. Only the small blind and the button again call, so we're 3 ways to the flop, and the flop is gorgeous. It's ace, ace, king, rainbow. We got trips. It checks to the turn, turns the 9 of diamonds. The small blind throws out a bet of 15 this time, and I just call, not wanting to scare anybody away, making them think I have an ace. So I just call after thinking about my bet size. The button folds, and here we go, folks. The river, boom, quads, ace of diamonds. Small blind bets $20, and trying to get value. I think about my hand. I'm doing the math in my head. I look at my cards and ultimately decide on a bet of $45, but it doesn't work. He mucks face down, and I show him what I had. First time in 18 months, I had quads. Quads. Okay, it's 11:25. Stop number 1 is done. Hollywood Casino, Perryville. I made $90 profit. It's not quite 100, but I tipped the dealer a couple bucks here and there, so let's call it 100. So we made the profit we wanted to make and played about an hour. So off to Horseshoe Casino. All right, guys, stop number 2. We're at Horseshoe Casino in Baltimore. There's one game going of 1-3 currently. Buying in for 200. Let's see if we can get on the list. And hopefully we get in right away. If not, we'll have to wait for a seat. Okay, about a half hour into the session, I didn't get into too many hands here, but here we go. Ace of clubs, jack of clubs, I'm in a middle position. It limps to me and I make it $12 to go. The button calls and the big blind calls. Everybody else folds, and we go 3 ways to the flop. Flop is pretty decent for us. It's jack, 8, deuce, all hearts. So there is a flush draw out there, obviously. Checks to me, and I throw out a bet of $15. The button and the big blind do call after some thinking, and we are still 3 ways to the flop. I'm sorry, 3 ways to the turn. And the turn is the jack of spades. That's right. We got trips now. Definitely not going anywhere, but I decided to check it to the river, which is probably a mistake because the river is the 3 of hearts. The big blind throws out a bet of $20. I guess you could say I let him get there. With trips, I'm not going anywhere. I call the 20. Probably should have raised with trips. I don't know, maybe not. He wasn't going to fold a flush, and that's what he's got. King of spades, 4 of hearts, and we lose that pot. All right, this hand here is nothing special. There was a straddle. I called a straddle. I wound up hitting the ace on the flop, and it's all low cards from there after I bet a couple times. And we take down a small pot after losing to the flush about 10 hands earlier. Okay, I already know I'm going to hear shit for it. Why am I playing this hand in this position? So go ahead and leave the comments down below, but here we go. Okay, so with 6 of spades, 5 of hearts, I'm in middle position. I limp in. Yes, I know. Never limp. The button limps, and pretty much everybody was limping all day. So anyway, we're 5 ways to the flop. Flop is 5, 5, 9 with 2 clubs. Boom. Got trips right off the bat. Let's go. The small blind bets 11. 2 people fold, and probably should have raised. Hindsight's 20/20, but I just call, and the button folds were heads up to the turn. The turn is the 10 of diamonds. All blind checks to me, and I throw out a bet of $17. He thinks about it for about 10 or 15 seconds, looks at his cards, and counts out his chips and says, call. Off to the river. The river is the gorgeous 9 of diamonds. That's right, folks. We got a full house. We're going to see if we can make him pay. He checks to me again. I'm thinking, got him in a good spot. I throw out a bet of 20. And he counts out more chips than 20, so I'm thinking, what's he doing? He raises to 75. I'm thinking he's bluffing, and I just snap call. No way I'm losing this hand. After I say call, throw a chip in, he shows 9-5. 9 of spades, 5 of diamonds. Oh my God, we lost. So that was going to be the end of that at the Horseshoe for now. I wasn't going to lose any more money, and we're on to the next one. Okay, we're leaving down 150. So as you saw, I've cut my losses. It was full house over full house. What are you going to do? He had the 9, I had the 5. Hey, this is part of the challenge. I guess there won't be any 2-5 tonight, but let's get to MGM. Played about an hour and 15 minutes here. Let's get going. Okay, as you can tell, we are here at MGM. We're gonna go get on the list, and max 500 here, so it's gonna be tough with just 200 buying in, but we're gonna see what we can do. Let's go win some money. Okay, wasn't much to be had at MGM, but here we go. Queen of spades, the 2 of hearts, I'm in the big blind. It gets to me and I just check my option. And we are 3 ways to the flop, which is ace, queen, 7, rainbow. It actually checks around to the turn. The turn this time is the jack of clubs. I'm not letting it check through again. I throw out a small bet of $11. And the other 2 guys fold, and we take down this very small pot. Okay, we have the ace of spades, the 4 of spades. I'm in the small blind. Like I said, it's hard to get any hands here. It gets to me and I make it $11 to go. And I'm heads up to the flop with the cutoff. And the flop is 9, 10, ace, rainbow. We hit an ace. Let's go. I throw out a bet of $15. And the cutoff does call after thinking. The turn is the 2 of spades. This time, I throw out a bet of 20. Looking back, I feel like I probably should have made it 50. He thinks and then says raise. He raises it to $60. And after I'm thinking, does he have 2 pair, 9, 10? Does he have ace 10, 2 pair? So I cut out some chips and I do call. It's the wrong amount of chips. I have to add some chips in there. I didn't add right. And my brain was all twisted up like a pretzel. Anyway, I go ahead and throw the right amount of chips in there. And the river is the queen of diamonds. This time, no low betting. I throw out a bet of $70. And to my surprise, he does tank for a good bit. 20, 30 seconds. He looks at me and says, "Did you hit the river?" And I said, "I don't know." And he cuts out his chips and slides them across and says calls. And then shows queen of spades, 10 of spades. He's the one who hit the river. Again, I got rivered. Had him the whole way. All right, so I'm starting to think that the time restraint is more of a hinder than anything. 60 to 90 minutes just isn't enough to see enough hands. I'm only playing about 23 to 25, 30 an hour. So there's maybe one playable hand, two playable hands in that little bit of time. We'll see how it goes tonight. We're just down a little bit today, and we gotta just keep chugging along. All right, so part of celebrating episode 100, we decided to get a room tonight. We're staying at the new Live Hotel. All right, we're all checked in. Time to go put our name on the list for 1-3. Let's sure as hell hope this 60 to 90 minutes runs better than the last two. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, real quick, before we get into that whole deal, I just want to give you some insight to today. I definitely think the time restraints was a problem. 60 to 90 minutes just isn't realistic to get any good hands and play properly. I took some chances, probably shouldn't have in a couple spots. So I probably hurt myself the last two times, but we're gonna do the 60 to 90 minutes here. We're staying the night. So I'm a degenerate, so I'll probably get into it after dinner also. Let's hope we run good, and let's go. Let's get into it. Okay, we're in the game about 15 minutes. This is the first semi-decent hand I look at. I have the jack of clubs, six of clubs. I'm in the big blind. I check my option, and we are heads up to the flop with the under the gun, and the flop is 10-6-4 rainbow. I look at my cards, decide to check, and he checks. So the turn is the six of diamonds. Got trips, not checking this time. I threw out a small bet of $10 to try to keep him interested. The under the gun looks at his cards and then decides to call. The river is a brick. It's a three of spades. I threw out a bet of $15 and he looks at his cards again, looks at the board and says, what the heck? He calls and I show and he mucks his cards face down. Okay, let me start this off by saying I wasn't high hand hunting. Other people at the table were, and it was a pretty fun table, so people were being courteous. Basically, if you had anything decent, to let them know, and we could play it down, and that's where we're going to go from here. So it gets to me, and I said, hey, do you want to play it? After he looks at his cards, he says, yeah, let's play it. Go ahead and throw your $2 in there, and he said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. He goes, all right, yeah, okay, let's do this. Throw the $2 in there, and the flop is awesome. Ace of diamonds, queen of spades, king of spades. I got the trips at least. Let's get there. Check to the turn. Boom, queen of clubs. You need aces full of deuces as a minimum. We got the high hand right now. He throws 5 in. He says we need 10 in the middle at least. So I throw another 5 in to make it like 14 or something in the middle, 16. The river doesn't help him out. It's the 10 of hearts. Check it down and flip the cards over. We hit the high hand. The dealer's excited. He's excited. I told him, I said, I'll get your money back if it holds. We got a sweat for about 18 or so minutes. And this is my first ever high hand. I've never hit one before. I'm hoping it holds. It's $400 if we hit it. And here's a look. 14 minutes left at this point. And boom, we hit it. $400. Let's go. Okie dokie, I have the king of hearts, the queen of hearts. I'm in middle position. It gets to me, and I make it $12 to go. I get 2 other calls, and we are 3 ways to the flop. The flop is awesome. It's king, queen, 6 with 2 clubs. We got top 2 pair. I'm first act, and I throw out a bet of $15. The guy across from me folds, and the button thinks, looks at his cards, and decides on a call. So we're heads up to the turn now. The turn is the 5 of diamonds. This definitely isn't changing anything for me. I throw out a bet of $25 this time. He looks at me and tilts his head, counts his chips, decides to call. The river, 2 of clubs. I throw out a bet of $40 this time, and he looks at me and goes all in for $125 after he asks for a count, and I snap call and flip over the top 2 pair, and he shows 4-5 of clubs, and we get rivered again for our whole stack that we had left, but not the high hand money. I put that in my pocket and live to fight another day, I guess. All right, well, you just saw that last hand. Top 2 pair, river flush on me, but we did hit the high hand, so we are basically even for the day. What does that mean? We're playing poker tonight after dinner. That's what it means. Not 2-5, but we're going to buy into 1-3 again after dinner. Time to go up, get dressed, and then go eat some good food. Leave it up to Maryland Live to get me back in the green and big time. So the one hand that did it, it was a 3-way all-in. I had the king high flush. The flush hit on the river, but I also had the ace. So I had top pair, and then the king high flush hit on the river. And the 2 other guys had flushes, but they were a lot lower than mine. So won a huge pot to get us way in the green. And then won a bunch of other good hands. I mean, I didn't film any of it. I'm kind of pissed now that I didn't. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you in episode 101. And don't forget, it doesn't matter how you're living your life, as long as you're living the felt life.